And tonight, Fulton County leaders say it is time for the governor to intervene at the plagued Fulton County Jail.
Well, this comes after a former inmate alleges medical neglect led to his legs and fingers having to be amputated. Atlanta News First senior reporter Patrick Quinn is live from the Fulton County Jail tonight. And today, the Georgia Bureau of Investigation says they have launched a review of that case, Patrick.
We are back outside the Fulton County Jail tonight talking about the issues inside. And yes, just within the last half hour, I got off the phone with a spokesperson for the GBI. They say this investigation, it's underway just to determine if criminal charges need to be pressed based on allegations of neglecting inmates here at the jail. So the state getting involved. We also know the U.S. Department of Justice, they're of course involved here at the jail as part of a consent decree with Fulton County. And now some are saying the governor should also step in.
And medical
Point of order,
staff.
Mr. Chair.
Wait a minute, I'm talking.
Point of order.
Another explosive day at the Fulton County Board of Commissioners meeting. And at the crux of the contention, the latest incident at the Fulton County Jail. On Wednesday, Rashad Muhammad, a former inmate, appealed to leaders alongside his attorney, Ben Crump, alleging medical neglect in the county's custody led to his legs and fingers being amputated.
I'm laying on the floor. I can't get up. It just gets worse and worse and worse.
After Muhammad's comments, Commissioner Khadija Abdurrahman, with the support of Commissioners Bob Ellis and Bridget Thorne, urged Fulton County voters to call on Governor Brian Kemp to step in and potentially suspend the man who oversees the jail, Fulton County Sheriff Pat Labat.
As the current sitting vice chair, I cannot and will not sit in silence while the performance of the sheriff's office continues to deteriorate to a level that can only be described as unconstitutional and dangerous.
Abdurrahman pointed to Georgia Code 151626, which gives the governor the authority to investigate a sheriff and start a suspension process. The governor's office has not responded, but now the Georgia Bureau of Investigation confirmed with Atlanta News First they are looking into Muhammad's allegations, saying in a statement, quote, "The purpose of a preliminary review is to determine if criminal activity exists to initiate a criminal investigation. Not all commissioners want the governor to intervene." Dana Barrett said it's up to Fulton County to handle this ongoing crisis.
Does Sheriff Labat have some responsibility and blame? Sure. Does the Board of Commissioners? Yes, we all do. So we need to get in a room and work together. That's what they've been asking for from the DOJ and the consent decree this whole time, and we just have not been able to do it, and it's a shame.
And Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr., who's endorsed by Sheriff Labat in the upcoming Fulton County chairman's race. Arrington, he said that the people have spoken. Sheriff Labat, he was reelected as sheriff in 2024. He did not face a formal challenger in the general election. We did reach out to Sheriff Labat's office. We also reached out to the governor's office. We have not heard back on these developments. Live outside the Fulton County Jail, Patrick Quinn, Atlanta News First.